Lee's going to tell a tale of how he went. Right, so these are basically the clothes that I've got left. Yeah, there's my wetsuit.
And so I ordered a bunch of gear, got the gear, went on a coach to Glasgow, so I had to stay in Glasgow for a week. Stayed in Glasgow for a week, then went to...
Right, we're going to have a bit of an introduction to Lee, my son, who you may have just seen on a very recent video we did. And keep watching this because Lee's going to tell a tale of how he went out exploring. And talking about exploring in a bit, I'm taking Lee and we're going to go and try and find a zombie wood. There's an old abandoned film set in a wood that was for a zombie film, complete with graveyards and a swamp. Anyway, all being well, I'm going to do that as a separate video to this. It's going to be a bit of a urban explore because it's quite local to where I live, but I've never been. And it's something that I've been aware of for quite a few years. Anyway, we're going to go and try and find the zombie film set. As you know, if you don't know, you should know. I'm heading back to the nurseries, holiday park in a couple of weeks. Things as far as our house move goes here in Manchester are progressing quite rapid at the moment. Fingers crossed nothing's going to go wrong. So I'm going to pick Lee up in about a short while. He's just getting himself ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get into my wardrobe now and I'm going to start to semi-empty it. So there's I did have a massive clear out. Again, if you've been watching the videos, you'll see back in, I think it was November, where I got rid of loads of old clothes and suits and shirts, things I'll never wear. And when I go to work at the nurseries, I tend to have a couple of polo shirts that I wear in the summer, which is sort of branded with the Campsite Warden on. And then at the beginning of the year or later in the year when it's a bit chilly, I'll be having some shirts on. So I'm going to go and try now and clear my wardrobe. And I'm probably going to put quite a bit of it into vacuum bags. So do you remember these big vacuum bags? And I've also got a small suitcase here. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to decant out of my wardrobe in the in our master bedroom into here, and I'm going to have a chat with Sandra because I need Sandra to know what things are for when we do the house move, because Sandra is possibly going to have to do quite a lot of the unpacking. Right, let's get tucked into my wardrobe. Right, so these are basically the clothes that I've got left that I decided to keep. Some of them, I've got a white pair of jeans. Every time I ever put white jeans on, I get caked in mud. Anyway, some of them I'm 100% not taking to the nurseries. I'll take these sort of long sleeve shirts. I'm going to take a couple of smart, nice shirts, and the rest are going to get put away. This red one, you'll see me wearing this quite a lot. It's really old and faded and it's really raggedy. Oh, hang on a minute, there's even a hole in it. But I do like that shirt, and it's quite warm, and it doesn't really matter if you get, I don't know, paint on it or creosote or anything like that. But I'm going to now go and have a big go through. Oh, hang on a minute. There's my wetsuit. I'll take my wetsuit separately. Yeah, I'll take my wetsuit separately. That's a Sandra coat. I'm not sure I idea why there's a Sandra coat. And then I've also got another wardrobe. Another load of shelving with a load of t-shirts in. Right, let me try and sort out what I'm not taking to the nurseries and get them into the spare bedroom. Well, I think I also mentioned about me donating a number of old press negatives, photos, and a whole archive of images, local images around the Altrincham, Timpley, Hale Barn, Sale, the local South Trafford area of Manchester. And I've got an appointment on Friday to hand over and meet the people from the local studies. So I'm actually just now backing up all the digital files onto a memory stick. And on that memory stick, I've also, back in 2013, as the town of Altrincham was going through a period of change, I started to document the town. If you're local and you know Altrincham, you'll have some idea of what I'm talking about. Anyway, I did 2013, 14, 15, 16 for several years. Photographed the town, going through this transformation, and they're still transforming it because they can't leave it alone. Anyway, I'm digitally archiving those, and I'm also going to waive my copyright to the local studies. Right, so I think I am possibly going to do a vacuum bag with this at the weekend. I was going to do it now. So these here now are all old shirts that I have kept, but they're no good for the nurseries, so they're like quite nice shirts. So that's an old one. And I've also now disposed of, or will be getting rid of, into a charity, not to a charity shop because they're not brilliant quality, but to a charity clothes bin thing. You know, the sort of where you put your clothes in. I've got several more shirts I've just sorted out. And then I've got a selection of t-shirts that are not coming with me to the nurseries. And even though I've got rid of virtually all of my shirts, I've kept some old ties for this one here, this little red skinny tie. That's got a lot of history on that. That's actually been on television, this tie here. And I've got a couple of funeral ties. Yeah, there was a posh best man tie and stuff. Anyway, I've kept half a dozen ties just for I don't really know why I'm keeping them. I'm trying to justify this, aren't I? For historical reasons. That's what I'm looking for. And I also found, I've no idea why, but this jacket, I'm positive it's Sandra's from years ago, was in my wardrobe. And yeah. And then I've just got my underwear and socks, which I'm not going to show you, that I'm not taking to the nurseries. Anyway, I'm going to have a good rummage through those, but that's in about another week's time. Yeah, there's my wetsuit. Dunk. So, again, you'll find me on my personal channel. Find me in the wetsuit in Cornwall, in the surf, bopping up and down and bodyboarding and surfing and stuff like that. Hey, I don't know. I've still got 2 IKEA units to get rid of as well, and I think I've got somebody interested in one of them, and one of them I've not had any nibbles on yet. So I'm going to have to give that a week and decide what I'm going to do with that. Right, let's go and sort out this secret film location. Will we find it? And will we get a vlog all about the zombie wood with Lee coming out to find it? Will the film set still be there? Or is this going to be a wasted journey? Right, so Lee. I've not actually seen Lee for about 18 months. No, we saw you last Christmas, didn't we? We've not seen you since.
Yeah.
So to cut a long story short, we'll rewind to when you were 21, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And Lee inherited a little bit of money that you didn't know you were going to get, did you?
No.
No, from your grandma. Do you remember when Lucy used to go on about an imaginary grandma,
Yeah.
but she had a real grandma in the end? Anyway, so all the children had some inheritance money. And then Lee's mum is my second wife. It's complicated, isn't it, Lee? But Lee and Lucy are blood brothers and sisters. Hannah's stepsister, and Simon is my blood son. So he's your step brother,
Half brother,
half brother, isn't it? So it's very confusing, isn't it? And all the kids have always got on great together, especially Hannah, Lucy and Lee, because Simon was a little bit older as we went carrying on camping. Anyway. So Lee obviously become a young man. And something that we did with Lee when you were 17, 18, me and Sandra hadn't had a 2-week holiday without the dogs and things. So Lee ended up house sitting for us, didn't you?
Yeah.
How old were you then? 17?
Probably around then.
Yeah, about 17. You were at college.
Yeah.
And looked after the dogs. And we actually had a 2-week holiday once. But Lee walked to college every single day. And that's about 3-4 miles. It's quite a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Each way walking, didn't you? And looked after the house and the dogs and everything.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, his mum and we were like, well, you won't be able to do it, but you did it all. You were really good at it, and you looked after the house that many times, didn't you?
Yeah.
You used to arrive with his PlayStation and all the rest of it, wasn't it? And get himself set up by the telly. Bye, Dad. Bye, Sandra. I've got the house. So that was going on, and then as Lee, well, all my children grew up, we always did camping. And we're encouraged to cook burgers. Again, on the Neil Taylor channel, there's all pictures of you flipping burgers. You used to flip burgers.
Yeah. Go
fishing. Got your rod licence and all the rest of it. We're going to go fishing. Do you remember that great big carp I caught that time?
Yeah.
Belmont, that massive one. And be very, very independent, wasn't it? Anyway. Without going into too much detail, Lee's sort of circumstances where he was living, they didn't change, but they sort of changed.
Yeah.
I got that right?
Yeah.
Am I wording this okay?
Yeah.
You sure? You'll slap me for saying anything wrong, won't you? Lee, I'll get us stood up in a minute. Lee's, how tall are you?
I think like 6'2".
I think you're taller than that. Just had a picture. So Simon was just here before. You tower. So even Simon. Do you remember Simon used to bully you? And Simon said, "I'm a bit scared of Lee now. He's bigger than me." Sibling brother Simon used to come up to you and punch you, didn't you, and everything. Anyway, Lee went on an adventure, didn't you?
Yeah.
So when Lee got this bit of money, he'd been ordering and getting delivered some camping gear, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Try and explain in your words where did you get? How did you get? Explain where you went and how you got there and what you did.
Well, I felt like getting out of the house, so I googled where to go camping. Then I read about camping laws. Then I read in the UK you're not allowed to just put a tent wherever you want. Then in Scotland they've got like some wild camping laws or something like that. So then I picked Scotland. I was like, where in Scotland? So I googled a bunch of places. Aberdeen. I mean, I guess because it begins with AB, so it was one of the first places that came up, alphabetical order. And I went on Google Earth, like a good place. And so I decided to go there. I then went. I planned a journey to Aberdeen. Then in order to get to Aberdeen, I needed to get a coach to Glasgow. And so I ordered a bunch of gear, got the gear, went on a coach to Glasgow. So I had to stay in Glasgow for a week. Stayed in Glasgow for a week, then went to Aberdeen.
Camping?
Yeah. Camping. Just found like a random place with some trees, shaded. Camped there. Then went to Aberdeen.
And what did you do in Aberdeen?
Well, I just went for walks. Just chilled out.
Proper camping, like we used to do, but on your own?
Yeah.
But without a campsite, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
All right. And then you ended up meandering down the country. And did you end up in Leeds?
Yeah. Started to go to Leeds and stayed there for a while. Tried to get a job. Went to a job for the first day, but the job ended up being like a 2-hour walk to get there. And it was like a 10-hour shift. Then it was like a 2-hour walk to get back. Then I was absolutely exhausted. My feet were hurting. I had like a massive blister, like it was big blister on my foot. And at that point, I decided to go back home. So
Lee has sort of gone AWOL. I got this message going, Lee's got a one-way ticket on National Express to Glasgow. He's going to Aberdeen. You're like, wait. And then you just vanished. And then we got a random message somewhere online going, I'm coming back for Christmas. So this was Christmas before last, wasn't it? So I did catch up with you just after that Christmas, wasn't it? I think it came over. And you're a very grown-up person and you've seen a bit of the world.
Yeah.
What was the best bit?
I guess just going for a walk. Like I went up a mountain at one point. Going up the mountain, I guess.
And what was the worst bit?
The walk there, because I had a bunch of gear on me and I almost missed the tram, so I was like really trying to go quickly and it was a really heavy gear. And then I got to Glasgow, but then it was like I had to find a place and it was just, my legs were hurting a lot. It was a lot of walking on that day and I had really heavy gear.
Did you get wet on any occasions?
Yes.
And how did you get dry?
I just kind of went in a tent and just took off my clothes.
Just dried off?
Yeah.
And what did you eat?
I just went to a shop, bought some stuff, bought some takeout.
So, sorry, I've been trying to get hold of Lee for quite some time. You've not been answering your phone for a while, have you? And then I thought, well, I know Lucy wants to see you because you and Lee, so Lucy and Lee were very, very close as brothers and sisters. There's only a year between your birthdays, isn't it? Sort of thing, very, very close. And when Lucy and Lee were very, very little, they had their own. Do you remember having your own language? So they used to talk in Lucy and Lee's language. They had their own way that you used to communicate with each other. Do you not remember?
No.
What's the youngest you can remember being? Can you remember being little at all?
I can remember being little. I can remember having a dummy. I can't remember the youngest.
And you can probably remember quite a lot, or doing a lot. We did a lot of camping, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where was your favourite place?
Shell Island.
Shell Island. Simon said that. Everybody says Shell Island. So Chav Island is as it's now known. But we had loads of fun over there, didn't we? But that was sort of wild camping, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The fire and watching the sunsets and things like that. And then me and Lee, we did a few camps on our own as you got older, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you remember going to? Oh, where was it? Just outside Rill, Pressatin. We ended up Firth. You chose. I said to Lee, you choose. We're going to go away for a week. Frith.
Was that the place with the bowling alley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you chose there, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then we went to Llandudno when we were there, and then I got you on video. I think in Rill we had a game of bingo, and you won a game of bingo, but you didn't know you'd won. It's like, Lee, you won. And it's like, well, what? And and they're all looking at Lee and going, have I won? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So me and Lee, I've always said we used to be. I would like to say very close as far as father and son went, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And everything, but and then it was a little bit worrying when Lee went AWOL, and I've only now found out that's just the sort of thing your dad would have done. It's the sort of thing that I would do. But I think you've come out more wiser and a good experience.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to let people know has been going on?
No.
So you're doing a bit of writing now, on and off with things.
Yeah.
You're developing an app.
Yeah.
All being well, fingers crossed. Which we're gonna, so everybody out there is going to be wishing you luck and everything like that.
Yeah.
And all being well, we're going to try and have a sibling full catch up this weekend.
Yeah.
So the last photograph I've got of us all together, the settee was over there, and I'm lying. No, you were all sat down, and I would lay over you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember? But at that point in time, we didn't know then, but Lucy was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think that was the last time we were all together. So that was 3 Christmases ago.
Yeah.
I think. Something like that. So, Caden's going to be 3, isn't he, this year? Yeah, 3 Christmases ago. And you've just been opening up your Christmas presents, haven't you? You've been having a bit of fun with Christmas presents, haven't you?
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
What's on the
What's on the ceiling?
My duck.
Is it a duck or a chicken?
A chicken. Yeah, it's chicken. I also had a gyroscope.
A gyroscope. Yeah, you quite like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. So this is Lee. and he's appeared on the video, so I think that you've now met all of my children properly. If you do find my other channel, the Neil Taylor channel, funny enough, I linked in a video the other day about Pickmere, and Lee is on that video that I put up the other day, and everything. So you will have seen Lee, but this is the first time you've seen him up and close, and you are definitely the tallest in the family. The youngest, but the tallest. It's been good to see you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, what we'll do, this will be part of another vlog, I think. But do you want to say goodbye on this video, but not say au revoir?
Goodbye, people.
Goodbye, people.